We're talking about practice today. Talking about practice. Well, showing up on time for practice, that is. Something that Joel Embiid seems not to do on a very regular basis. Guys, I can't believe it. I thought yesterday was the end of the Joel Embiid conversation. Turns out it's not. Turns out today is the end of the Joel Embiid conversation until something new comes out tomorrow. Trending in the AM. We're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live on YouTube and Twitter. Guys, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button if you're on the YouTube page. I would greatly appreciate if you're watching anywhere else. Head on over to the YouTube page and hit subscribe. If you're watching on Twitter, hit that repost button. Open up the video and you can comment right there. I'd greatly appreciate that as well, guys. It's free to do. It's free to support a local content creator. It is free to support somebody off the dial. You complain about the dial? Well, turn the dial off, plug and play. Trending in the AM every single morning right here, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. You can find me on all social media platforms at Beard and Knowledge. You can find me Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it. That's where I'm at there, guys. Now that all the business is out of the way. I said yesterday was the last time we are going to talk about the Sixers. Oh, boy. Little did I know 2 hours later that the Sixers would one-up themselves with more disaster after disaster. Oh, my God. Have you been living under a rock and you did not know it? Yesterday, it came out reportedly, which we're going to talk about the report itself, but also the leaking of the report today, that there was a team meeting held after the Miami Heat embarrassment on Monday night, and the team meeting was called by Kyle Lowry, but in said meeting, one Tyrese Maxey called out the big fella Joel Embiid, called out him for being late to team activities, called him out for not putting in 100%. Are we really living in a world where the 24-year-old Tyrese Maxey has to call out Joel Embiid? Pathetic. Pathetic. On top of all that, a team meeting that's private in a locker room, who the hell leaked it out? If I was Kyle Lowry, I'd be pissed off at the locker room for leaking that information. There's so much to dive into this, and so much that frustrates me and upsets me that I just can't take it. Good morning, McGork. How you doing this morning? Hope you are well. First what? Let's get this show. Yeah, I'm a few minutes early on the start time, so the people will trickle in. Gotta wrap up early today. Got a doctor's appointment this morning that I got to get to. So I started 5 minutes early to make up for the 30 minutes early. I'm cutting the show short. Yeah, I promise no more Sixers talk, Duck, but I didn't expect to read about an article about a meeting that Joel Embiid ain't showing up for. Heard Maxey was going to swing. I don't know if he was going to swing on Embiid. But yeah, I know I promised, but I lied. Because once the Sixers, once I say I'm out, they pull me back in. He lied. I do lie. I lie all the time. I go with where the wind goes. Good morning, though, Duck. I appreciate seeing you this morning. Whoever leaked that is an American hero. I don't think you want private locker room situations being leaked to the media. That tells you more about the team than anything else. Also in the meeting, it was leaked that they talked about wanting Nick Nurse to coach them harder. Give the leaker keys to New York City, yeah, because we're falling apart, yeah. Chat, if any of you still thinks Joel isn't the biggest disappointment in Philly sports, please come up there. Yeah, dude, I've put so many things out on social media yesterday, Marshawn, complaining about this, and I'm still getting, Why are you going down? Why are you giving up Embiid? Don't run Embiid out of the city. I want to run Embiid out of the city. My sanity doesn't want Joel Embiid in this city anymore. There are still a lot of people, you like to use that word, glazing Joel Embiid in the Joel Embiid situation. It's pathetic. It's crazy how anybody cannot be exhausted yet by this. In the words of Van Morrison, how long has this been going on? I love Van Morrison. Seen him in concert multiple times. For 10 long years, Nooms, team meeting leak drama. This team is going up in flames. Brian, look, it's like I think we can have a great conversation about Tyrese Maxey calling out the big fella. But I think the bigger issue is that it was leaked. Didn't we have this problem with the Eagles? The fractured locker room? Who was leaking information? Was it Jeffries or I forget who was the one that leaked the information to Jacina Anderson years ago? Was it Alshon? I forget who it was. But locker room leaks are when locker rooms are fractured. This locker room is beyond fractured. No such thing as a team leak. The team allows it to leak. Maybe players call people, yo, look, guess what happened? I do want those private locker room situations leaked if I'm praying for the downfall of the team. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to pray for the downfall of this team, Trinidad. The downfall has already occurred. But your chat wants to say Wentz and Cunningham. You did this, Phil. This is what happens when you protect Joel. I've protected Joel. I'm trying to unprotect Joel, Marshawn. I'm trying to move on from Joel. I'm trying. You won't get me to stop protecting Jalen, though. They are setting up an Embiid trade. Dude, all day yesterday, that's all I saw. People making random trade ideas for Joel Embiid. Let me tell you something. There ain't much at this point with that contract that you can trade him for. Saw Deebs this morning put one. It was like Miles Turner and somebody else from the Pacers and 2 protected first-round picks and a pick swap. Like, I don't even think you could get that for Joel Embiid. So I forget, was it Ryan Wise or somebody else saying Joel Embiid for Duncan Robinson and Bam. We'll just say Bam this morning. Like, that's it. That's all you're getting. You're not getting 4 or 5 first-round picks for him anymore. It's crazy. Juan Soto will be a Dodger. Well, there's a secret team that has met with Juan Soto, maybe the Phillies. I'm not on board with paying Juan Soto $600 million, and you know he's going to try to get that. I'm not on board with another 10, 12-year contract. I think if you want to talk baseball, the more intriguing baseball rumor from yesterday was that JT Realmuto may be on the trade block. Came out from, I forget, maybe it was John Foley. One of the Phillies reporters out there put out a leak that there are rumors that the Phillies would listen to, not accept, listen to offers for JT Realmuto. And I think that is a very, very interesting thing. I wanted to get into it. Today's got to be a short show, and tomorrow's got to be a shorter show. Got some personal things to take care of. But the baseball wise, I wanted to talk about the Hall of Fame ballot being out and how empty it is of Hall of Fame players this year. How can Embiid be the worst if Ben Simmons was a 76er? Not the worst player, the biggest disappointment, okay? Biggest disappointment is what he's talking about. So how does a dog like Jimmy Buckets not call this guy out on this stuff publicly when he had no issue doing it with Cat and company? Just odd. Yeah, look, Jimmy Buckets and Joel Embiid were made for each other. He's not the worst, but we've given love. Now it's time for the stick. Yeah. Embiid will be wonderful addition to the Knicks bench. Yeah. You want him, you can have him. I just don't want half your players in return for him. Joel can't be traded this year. Is it legally he can't be traded at all this year or not till later? I think you have to wait. I thought when you signed an extension or signed as a free agent, it was like January or something like that. You had to wait till like half the season or something. Maybe he legally can't be traded this year. If that's the case, just shut him down, let him get healthy and trade him in the offseason. Don't risk him getting hurt anymore, embarrassing himself anymore. shit, I'm not on board with paying him $600 million either. Well, we're not paying Joel $600 million, but pretty damn close. Nick won't pay the Sixers enough to get Embiid. I don't think anybody. Look, it's going to be tough. Pay. You'll be lucky to get future first round draft picks for that fraudulent MVP. I mean, he wasn't a fraudulent MVP. He was a damn good player that year. Yeah, his price has plummeted though. Good morning, Gatekeeper. How are you this morning? Whoever is getting Embiid is getting him on a fire discount, and this is the big problem. Look, we're talking trade Joel Embiid, but realistically, well, literally, you can't this year, as Marshawn's saying. But realistically, you're trading him. You would be trading him on pennies on the dollar. Who would want him at this point? I'll be curious to see how he comes out and plays tonight and in the weeks to come. Now that this drama has unfolded, I just think it's insanity that Tyrese Maxey had to call the big fella out. Insanity that it's come to the fact that the 24-year-old is a bigger and better leader than the former MVP, one of the best in the league. I think it's insanity that the players have to ask to be coached harder. I think it's insanity that Joel Embiid turns the conversation around and when he's called out, says, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing on the court. When that is the response from Joel Embiid, I'm confused on what my responsibilities are on the court or something like that, he said. That's a problem. And it's not too early to panic on the Sixers. He's trade eligible is March 6th. Okay. That's still season. I guess the trade deadline's passed by then. But yeah, okay. Maybe it's a certain amount of months. Maybe you have to wait 6 months after signing the contract or something then. Gotcha. I'm not going to fact check you. I'm going to trust you on that, Marshawn. I'm not sure why I would trust you, but I'm going to trust you. To answer your Jimmy Buckets question, in the NBA, you don't get 9 lives. If you get labeled, you eventually end up out of the league before you're ready. Maybe that's the thing. Eric is the problem too. Protected Joel. Eric protected. Well, I don't know if he's protecting him, but I get it. I get what you're saying. It took me a second. For pennies on the dollar, the Nets might be intrigued. Yeah, they might be. Make the trade crypto exclusive. Aren't we going to use crypto to pay off our entire national debt now? Maybe something like that. Things are well. Oh yeah. Well, we appreciate the love in the chat. That question is beginning does not give good data. What? What question in the beginning? NBA in general is a joke and it's getting worse. Rick, you're not wrong on that. The NBA is getting more and more difficult to watch, more and more difficult to support, more and more difficult to see what the future even holds for the sport at this point. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The ratings for the NBA have gone down, and they've already reported that this year they're seeing the biggest drop in ratings in ages. So there's obviously something to that. The game is not what it used to be. The game is not played the way it used to be. The players don't relate to the fans the way they used to be. I'm not sure what they could do to fix it or change it. We could start over and still be on par with the East contenders except Boston. I mean, it's true. With Maxey McCain, I mean, you move on from Joel Embiid after March 6th, you still got Paul George. Would that be the right route? Go out and get a traditional, well, no, like a new modern center, athletic center, and build around Maxey McCain with Paul George as your scorer, I guess. You find a way. I suggested this, Marshawn, on Twitter yesterday. Is there a way? I mean, we weren't Paul George's first choice. We weren't his second choice. We were his third choice. Is there a way? I don't know when his trade eligibility becomes, but is there a way we call Golden State and be like, yo, he wanted to play for you. You had a trade offer to LA. They didn't accept it. What do you got for us? And move Paul George to where he wants to go to, Golden State. Maybe we find a way by the start of next year where Paul George and Joel Embiid less in here. And we just let the two young guns, Maxey and McCain, run the show. You're not going to win that one with me, Marshawn. I'm definitely disappointed with Embiid. You are now. You're one of the later ones, though. Isn't what Butler said? Didn't know his role. People didn't know their role. It's crazy. You in your chat said this was Daryl's fault. It is Daryl's fault to an extent. I mean, Marshawn, Daryl built the team. Daryl gave out the contract. Daryl is responsible. If you want to trade Embiid for a good player, you're going to need to add something onto it. Another player, maybe even another player and money with Embiid. I need to hold people accountable who said this was someone else's fault. Well, it is multiple people's fault, Marshawn. You can't just put it just on Joel. Like, you can put the Joel problems on Joel, but the team problems on Joel, Daryl, Josh Harris. There's two different problems. There's the Joel problem and there's the team problem. Joel's on Joel. The rest is on everybody. And beat it. We're not trading Jarrett McCain. They better not. Chinatown will have the final word. Yeah. This is honestly. I don't understand. I know what you're saying here. And I get what you're saying here. And I agree with what you're saying here. I just don't understand this. Like, why does this new stadium have so much influence on our team? It's crazy. NBA still around. NBA still around. Signed 1998. What? NBA not even on the TV. What? I just know our city is notorious for forcing our stars out of the city too late, and we will almost never recoup value. Look, we force them out, sure, maybe. But if they're not winning, who cares? Joel, just retire, pal. Go play with Arthur and tell him fables about how you were great for Team USA. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Says y'all, Knicks fans are players got a symbiotic relationship. Whatever. And the Garden goes crazy. Who cares? Know how many celebrities? Who cares how many celebrities go to MSG? Joel is the CPT, colored people time. Tyrese Maxey is uncle time. Okay. Maybe if refs didn't blatantly reward tenure instead of calling a foul, the NBA wouldn't be as much of a joke. That is one of 10,000 issues, Nooms, probably. Maxey McCain takes us back to the Holiday, Iggy, and Williams Sixers, which is no different than the current Sixers. The current Sixers are sluggish and will be barely a playoff team. Iggy and Williams was barely a playoff team. At least they were filled with heart and hustle, unlike Joel Embiid and Paul George. Didn't you just pay a player $1 million to play ball? What? Now, y'all didn't want to force Joel out even with all his red flags. Y'all nurtured him. You just Trinidad don't know. You are now, Phil. What? You are now. What? I'm lagging today. My mind is lagging today. Emirates Cup, effing kidding me? Is that a Saudi-owned thing? The NBA has run its product into the ground. Look, the NBA Cup, the Emirates Cup, whatever you want to call it now, it was supposed to be an idea to improve the game. I just don't know who said it was a good idea to improve the game because it's the dumbest thing there is. It really is. Daryl was late for meetings. Look. Joel Embiid and these reports from this meeting are atrocious. And the nail in the coffin, it should be. It's not, but it should be the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin for anybody that's left that's supporting Joel Embiid, Marshawn. If you still support Joel Embiid after these reports, then I don't know what to tell those people. Daryl moped around in the locker room. Well, Daryl's moping around in his office, planning out the next time he's going to go hang out in a strip club with James Harden. He's probably dreaming of days when him and James Harden were best buddies instead of focusing on his team. No, but I'm calling out Daryl Moore. So, somebody has to. Forget what, Phil? I forget a lot today. It's 100% Daryl's fault. He blew 2 trade offers and a boatload of cap space that would have put the franchise in the position to be a title contender 3 times. I mean, maybe. But on the other end of the equation, Eric, there's been one constant for the last 10 years in Philadelphia. Only one. And that's Joel Embiid. We have given him 3 coaches now, Brett Brown, Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse. None of them succeeded with Embiid. We've given him Ben Simmons, which that was Ben Simmons' fault, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Paul George. None of them have worked out. He had Elton Brand, he had Sam Hinkie, and now he had Colangelo, and now he's got Daryl Morey. The one constant has always been Joel Embiid, and they still have not won with him. So what gives? Maybe he really does truly just need a change of scenery. Y'all wanted to keep Joel. Yeah, look, I wanted to keep Joel. I said it literally like 2 months ago. Going down with the sinking ship. I'll stay on the Titanic like the band. But you know what? Anybody that's saying it's still is kind of crazy. Stop with that phantom trade this bum. Y'all are protecting, scored 20 points in game 6 and said the ball did not find its way to me. Didn't he take a lot of shots that game too, Marshawn? When he said that? Didn't he have like, I forget, I know the game you're talking about, but didn't he say like, when he said that, didn't he have like 15 shots or something like that in the game? Morey killed his time, this time, Harden and now PG, when both players, look, yeah, the Harden and Paul George situations are on Daryl Morey. Hey, no need to be a sourpuss, Phil. I got a Knicks shirt with your name on. Send it to me. I'll rock it right here on the show. You don't have to stay in that falling, sinking ship of a franchise. No, I would never, ever. You send me a shirt. I'll wear it, and then I'll burn it live on the air. Core 12 is banned, though. They suck. Well, I'm the captain. I'm the owner. I'm the franchise of the Core 12. Most contacts paid by CCCP was what? I don't even know what you're talking about. No, I took something. I took too much stuff last night. I'm sorry. I killed this team for Harden and Paul. Yes. David Silver, the gray alien, needs to watch NBA of the 90s and try to recreate that. I don't know what David Silver's plan is. David Silver, he just rubs me the wrong way, Rick. He just rubs me the wrong way. Note to Joe, trust the healing process. Time. Yeah, look, I would be majorly pro if they just decide to shut Joel down for the year. You know what? And they're in Memphis tonight. I don't know what Memphis's team looks like yet right now. I don't know how healthy they are or aren't. But I'd love to see Joel. Like, I could just totally see it would be totally on par with Joel. Joel's going to go out there tonight and drop 35 points, grab 12 rebounds. We're going to win by 6. And all the don't trade Joel or the people that aren't off his bandwagon is going to come out and say, see, I told you, you can't trade Joel. See, they still got time. It's going to be totally on par with Joel tonight and his trajectory. Because Halliburton was going to make Joel not hit Suze. And you know what? Looking back at everything, looking back at it all now, all these different trade scenarios, and everything else that we missed out on over the years, does it even matter? If Joel is who we're learning he is, which is a lazy, I mean, it all makes sense. The lack of being in shape, the nutrition issues, you know, it's nauseating. Everything is making sense of the last 10 years today. It's Woodrow Wilson's fault. They don't observe daylight savings in Cameroon. Why the Americans have to be so special. Is it Woodrow Wilson? Let's start at that. Yeah, Adam Silver. Yeah, I was just rolling with it. I was just rolling with a K1. Darryl gave him the world, and he scored 15 points in a game 7. Yeah. Maxey or Morey has pulled the wool over people's eyes. The guy has never won shit. Bad trades and signs. Rick, look, you don't have to convince me. I've been saying that since day one. But also, poor Daryl Morey was stuck with the Joel Embiid situation since day one. And he's been trying to find a way to make it work. And it's just not. Americans stopped daylight savings, and he still sucks. Miss me with this. This was Daryl's fault. No, Joel being lazy is not Daryl's fault. Joel not being healthy is not Daryl's fault. Team decisions are Daryl's fault. And yes, maybe I feel a little bad for Daryl now as this situation unfolds. But you can't tell me Daryl Morey's good at his job. This is, it's funny. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to segue out of this in a second. Okay, I'm gonna try my best. What's up, Mitchy Poo? Mitch Koski, how you doing this morning? Mitchy Poo is in the house. I did 2 little YouTube shorts / TikToks last night, back to back, like minutes apart. Okay, one was bitching about Joel Embiid, and one was a Saquon Barkley little nugget, and how great Saquon Barkley was. The Saquon Barkley one did double the amount of views. The Saquon Barkley one did between TikTok and YouTube like 1,200 views. Between TikTok and YouTube shorts, my Joel Embiid short did like 700 views, 650 views. People definitely don't even care anymore. They want more Saquon Barkley talking. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to talk Saquon Barkley here. Guys, 1,607. That is the number of the record, of the single season rushing record for the Eagles, held by LaShawn McCoy from 2013. Saquon Barkley already has 1,137 yards, 470 yards short of the record. He is already, through 10 games, 14th on the all-time single-season rushing record for the Eagles. Through 10 games. He's the 14th best season ever by a running back already. With 9 games. How many games left? What are we, 8-2? So 7 games left to play. Just put that in perspective to how great Saquon Barkley has been this season. He's already the 14th on the record list with 7 games to play. So my question, Saquon Barkley-wise, is not will he break LaShawn McCoy's record, it's when will he break Saquon Barkley's record. He's averaging 137 yards a game. That puts him at the record in like 3 weeks. Harden helped Maxey what he is and helped Joel win MVP. Last I checked, Harden won game 1 and 4 for this team. He also showed up for 1 game, just so you know. Tyrese Maxey is now GTD. What? Game? Yeah, Tyrese Maxey might actually play tonight. And somewhere swept under the rug, and all this Joel thing is that Lowry's going to miss the next 3 games because he's got a hip issue, which that's not really a loss, but coincidentally, after the Lowry injury, Maxey's all of a sudden ready to play maybe tonight. It ain't like Joel's giving it his all. Can't even beat his alarm, and you expect him to beat double teams. I think he prefers the double cheeseburger than a double team. That man is not playing. Maxey's not going to play, but he is close maybe. What's up, Bruce Bryce Harper? Marcus Smart might be back, okay? I haven't really paid too close attention to the Grizzlies right now. I'm excited for Embiid's return, and I feel he will be amazing again, but I know you don't like him. It's not that I don't like him. I just have no faith in him, Bruce. That's what it is. It's faith. It's not like, it's faith. It's okay to admit you want to blame everyone to spare this bum. Nobody is trying to, well, there are people that are trying to. I'm not. It'd be totally a Sixers move to lose to the Grizzlies. No Ja Morant or Edie. Marcus Smart dropping 30 on you. Marcus Smart. I could talk hours about Marcus Smart. So I feel Maxey will give Embiid motivation and he will try harder. I mean, I think he will too. Try harder. Joel Embiid cares about his personal image more than anything else. And he's going to be pissed off. But on the flip side of the equation to that, Bruce, should a former league MVP in his 30s need a 24-year-old to push and motivate him? Shouldn't he know? Shouldn't he get himself up himself and motivate himself? Joel's legal team is unbelievable. Where's Pump Man? Yeah. Yeah. Harden's contributions don't trump Halliburton, Barnes, Hield, and 2 lottery picks. The market has spoken. Are you talking about the video views? Like Dallas control of this bum Joel. Nobody saw him the day of the Heat game, and all of a sudden he wants to play after. Yeah, look, and that goes to my point that he cares about. Probably too much what people are saying about him. The collapse of the Sixers needs to be studied by future. Yeah, dude, there's got to be a book written about the process at some point. What not to do, yeah. Halliburton was going to save Joel. It's okay. Keep protecting him. Joel isn't crazy. I bet he's on time for places he wants to be. His heart isn't in it. I love that. That's so true. It seems like. Have you ever been naturally great at something that you just don't really care about? Yeah. I know that feeling. How many games did Joel show up against the Celtics? Yeah, not many. Not ever. He finally have a O.J. Simpson. What? Oh, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's something special. That deal literally makes Embiid movable and keeps the team in title contention, all while you could have still signed Harden if you just had to have him. And your Morey botched that deal. Eric, I agree with you, but Morey is not safe in my mind. Morey's an idiot. But Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid's worst enemy. I remember when it was just last 1,000-yard season was Ernest Jackson for the Eagles. For a team that's never really had a great running game. God damn. Saquon Barkley, man. When you look at those numbers, when you really write it down, that's what I do. I write notes. When I write down the Saquon Barkley stats and look at them on paper, I'm in awe. In all of it. Watch that 2028 unprotected first turn into something meaningful for this team, but people want to hold on to how. Like, I'm moving on from the Halliburton thing. It doesn't mean I can't still criticize Daryl Morey. I think the Hornets going to give 76ers money run. What? Morey has not put the correct pieces to support or to have Embiid support a new star. He's put stars around, but just not the right ones. So you wanted the Halliburton trade to happen so you can move Joel. We force stars out. Look, we got to force them out. Morning, CB Fuentes. How are you? Hope you are well. Embiid has set this organization back like 5 years with his laziness, lack of self-awareness, and not having his priorities straight in terms of basketball. This is who he is, a bum. I think that's summing up Marshawn's feelings, my feelings, and a lot of people's feelings. I feel you make great points, as I know Embiid shouldn't need Maxey to help him work hard again. But I feel if Maxey can do it, we will be good again, especially if George can stay healthy. Look, I love the positivity, Bruce. I'm not feeling the positivity this morning. His heart was in it for the contract extension. True that. Yes, golf. I can't stand it. I love golf. Come on now. So Harden, Halliburton, and Maxey on the same team. That'd be weird. I don't know. Someone from the outside looking in, your current situation reminds me of our Carmelo, Stoudemire, Shumpert, and J.R. Wow, I totally forgot about that. Like, I remember Carmelo on the Knicks, but I forgot about Stoudemire, Shumpert, and J.R. Smith that era there. Damn, that I do remember. I do remember that era there. J.R. Smith was something. Ian Shumpert. I always liked Amari Stoudemire when he was with the Suns. I thought there was some potential there, but obviously not. Not sure how the Bruins fired their head coach Montgomery, one of the winning coaches in the NHL over the past 3 seasons yet. Washed up Tortorella. Yeah, so I don't pay enough attention to the rest of the NHL. I did see there was quite a curiosity on Twitter about the Bruins firing their head coach. Yeah. Ryder Cup hype. No, pass on the Ryder Cup hype. What is with the Sixers getting great talent with zero heart? Simmons and now Embiid. You know what, Big Al? That's a great question. I have no idea. I mean, they just don't have heart. You need heart. They need a little Sugar Shane Falco in their locker room. The only problem with the process is they said the quiet things out loud. They never said anything and just did it. NBA would not have been the wiser nor cared. Yeah, that's true. Cat can't even protect Joel correctly. Look, there is no protected Joel. There just isn't. Flyers need to fire Torch, snap ASAP and get Montgomery in here. I knew at least somebody would say that, Rick. Again, I don't follow enough NHL big picture to really know much about Montgomery. But yeah, I know somebody was going to say that right away. It's the city. No one wants to live in Philly. That's untrue. A lot of athletes live in Philly after their tenure is up. A lot of athletes come back to Philly after their playing careers are done. Athletes from other cities come back to play or to live in Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a great city to live in. I feel like if you write that, I hope I am right. But look, and I hope you're right. And I hope that magically a finger snaps and this season becomes magical. I just don't feel it. I'll be the first person to stand here and say I was wrong. I just see the facts in front of me and can't do it. When you look past the injuries, you see a broken man who's actually, I don't know. Phil, at least the Eagles are playing awesome again. That is good. At least we got one positive thing in our life right now, right? At least one good thing going for us. Barkley's only about 45 yards behind Henry, and Henry still had us a bye week. Look, he's only got to average something like 67 yards a game the rest of the year to break the all-time rushing record. And he's averaging over 130 right now. Just think about that. Just think about that. Saquon Barkley. Just think about the fact that the Giants didn't want him. It's insane that the Giants didn't want him. But you know what? Their loss is our gain. I can't imagine it. It would be really bad. The three of those guys together. Who's riding the bench out of those three? Probably Halliburton, right? Marshawn, let me get you a Nets jersey. A Nets jersey. I'll never accept you as a Knicks fan, but you could definitely rock our little brothers. Oh, man. Get him a Ben Simmons Nets jersey. You summed that up perfectly, Phil. Embiid is Embiid's worst enemy. It took him years to understand that. We are not a tell me city. We are a show me city. Every player in the NBA works hard. Yeah. A good rant back. If I had time, I'd make one. I just don't have time right now. Jim Montgomery's best contribution to Philly hockey was naming the Legion of Doom. Really. Morey drafted Maxey McCain. Yeah. Morey has done two things well. Draft two good young guards. So the Jets let Joe Douglas go. You think he will get it? Oh, did they? When that? Is this breaking news? Does this just happen? Because I didn't see that before the show. Maybe that just is breaking news. I'm refreshing Twitter here. Maybe I'm refreshing Twitter. I don't know if I'm refreshing Twitter. Twitter is not refreshing for me. Let me hit that button there. See what happens. I don't see anything on that, but maybe it happened. I just am not finding it just yet. But it is what it is if it happened. K1 got facts. If Embiid was a football player, he'd be Dak. That's how much I think of him now. Yeah. Shady McCoy rushed for 1,000 yards regularly for the Eagles. He did. Stop. No. He's still dead to me. Just, yeah. Priorities. Trinidad, I will never accept you as any definition of man, but it's 2024. You can identify how you please. Ouch. Well, getting Simmons ruined Joel's prime season. Maybe. Phil, I feel Rick Berman makes a good point as Torts is not a good coach and the Flyers are. So I think Torts is a good coach, but in very short spurts. And I said this when we hired Torts. What was his shelf life? And why was he being brought here for the rebuild when he should have been brought here at a different point, maybe to push us over the hump? Torts is not a bad coach. He's not a great coach, but he's not a bad coach. He just doesn't fit here anymore, and he's already ruined his welcome. Great coach, McGinty. Yeah, we need heart. Need heart. Go bum your Joel Embiid jersey. I don't burn jerseys, just so you know. I'm against burning jerseys. Oh, but your chat is doing their best effort. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm going to go sniff my Brunson jersey. Go sniff something. The absentee owner doesn't pay for a good writing or vetting process. No, not at all. Go find your MVP. Oh my God, what am I missing here? Yeah, he would probably lick it too. Trinidad, they were drafted. It has nothing to do with the city. New York City is trash. Been there, never want to go back. I know, I agree. Imagine if one of Michael Jordan's or Kobe Bryant's teammates called them out. They wouldn't dare. Be just But they didn't need to be called out, mister, right? They never let themselves be in a position to have to be called out. The difference is Joel Embiid is supposed to be a star and has to be called out. That's what's pathetic. Oh, my God. What are you guys doing in the chat? I'm just paging right through these. Shaq called out Kobe all the time. In the early part of his career, before he matured, yes, he did. You're the type when the Yankees lose, yeah. Or when the Knicks lose and stuff like that. Okay, Kobe. Yeah. Trinidad, you just lost. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just paging through the Marshawn Trinidad conversation. Before my friend died, he said to me that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. And that is why they call it the present. I feel that way always now. Hey, you know what? It's a great way to live. I know life is short. Bruce, I'm one of those, life is short, precious moments. Take advantage of people. I am. I agree with this. 100%. And maybe we take sports too seriously, but it's kind of my job to take it seriously for this show. Look for validation instead of playing hard. That's it. I love that line. Embiid always did look for the validation. He wanted to be told how great he was. He needed to be propped up. I don't even know what's going on in the chat half the time today. The Giants wasted the best years of Barkley's Hall of Fame talent. If he played behind a decent line, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kobe had Shaq traded to Miami, only room for one alpha. Yeah. Beating the Sixers is a flex. It's not a flex beating the Sixers for sure. Losing to the Sixers is an embarrassment at this point. Giants going to be living high off of Tommy Cutlets. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the Giants right now in their quarterback situation. Obviously, Daniel Jones deserved to be benched, but there's Tommy Cutlets and contract situations and bonuses that are coming to play. Brian Dabble's going to be fired soon. Crazy what's going on with the Giants right now. At least we're not the Giants organization. That's all I can say there. Phil, I read they fired Douglas. It must have just happened, or maybe it happened and it just flew under my radar. I'm not sure. But I haven't seen it, but I do miss stuff from time to time. I can only be on. There it is. I just saw it right there. Woody Johnson went rogue per what? Fired Saleh without consulting. Hold on. What's this? This report doesn't say anything about it. It's, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It's all good. What options do the Sixers have with Embiid? They don't have any options. Booch. The Booch is loose. They don't have any options, Booch. They got to keep him right now. You can't trade him legally. You can't trade him till March, which the trade deadline passes by the time they're allowed to. He's here for the rest of this year. You got to hope that he does just enough that in the offseason he demands a trade and someone takes a chance on him. Yeah, he's. Where are we at here? Well, the Sixers can use an alpha. They could use an alpha right now. Maybe the alpha is Tyrese Maxey. 4 months ago happened. Are you dumb or you skipped milk as an infant? What? Rodgers was forced on Douglas. If he would have had gone for him, he'd been fired still. Yeah, look, the Jets, the Giants, something in that New Jersey water makes that organization a dumpster fire on the regular. Yep, Phil Savage is the interim. I pay so little attention to the Jets organization because I hate Aaron Rodgers. I don't hate anybody. I strongly dislike Aaron Rodgers so much. Yeah. We're just going to star all these comments and find decent comments. The craziest thing was when Saquon said he went into the Giants game on the bus and they were burning his jersey in the parking lot. Like, I don't understand why Giants fans hate on Saquon Barkley either, Joe. He did nothing but dedicate his career to them. And the organization, not even the organization, just the GM wanted him gone. Torts was a good coach back then. His ways don't work anymore. And I did agree with that, especially with a young team. Flyers, as usual, are behind the curve instead of ahead of it. Should have fired him after last season. Yeah, after the Coots situation, Rick, probably they should have. Torts' style might work in certain situations. It doesn't work with the Flyers. I don't know if Montgomery's the answer or not, but I don't know if firing Torts is on Danny Briere's agenda at the moment, though. I don't think they're going to anytime soon. Should they? Maybe. Will they? I don't think so. You don't win the playoffs in the NHL, you're out in the Northeast period, especially when the economy between the regular season playoffs is that much. Joel is the present that never gave us anything. He's the guy, like, we used to, when we decorate the pizza shop for Christmas, we used to wrap boxes and put them under the pizza shop Christmas tree for decorations. But then I had to stop doing it because kids would rip them open all the time, thinking they were presents for them because parents let their kids do anything. And yes, literally, presents under a Christmas tree, random strange families coming to my pizza shop would allow their kids to go over there and play and rip open the packages. So I stopped doing it. But Joel Embiid is like that Christmas present that's just decoration. When you open it up, there ain't nothing inside. Yeah. Just imagine what parents let their kids do at a pizza shop. It is, K1. You guys are just all over the place. I'm slightly hungover, and I got a doctor's appointment I got to leave for in like 15 minutes. Hey, I appreciate that, Bruce. I'm number one up here. I'll tell you that. Dallas and Sixers are becoming the get-right games for a lot of teams. So true, so true. If there was ever a time for Pump Man to be around, it would have been Marshawn. It would have been. The Eagles secondary versus the Rams wide receivers this week. Huge matchups. Yeah. Look, we're going to get into the Rams-Eagles matchup starting tomorrow, more detailed, and obviously on Friday. But yes, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp's playing well. Matthew Stafford's a solid wide receiver. I'm not worried. We are one of the best defense. We are the number one yards per game allowed defense in the NFL. The number one passing defense in the NFL. Top 5 scoring defense in the NFL. We're top like 15 in rushing, but still. I mean, this team is legit. And yes, it's going to be a challenge. But I have the confidence, the utmost confidence in the secondary shutting the Rams down this week. Not worried about it. If Maxey was an alpha, he would have had Embiid traded already. Yeah, maybe. This is our get right stream, yeah, so we can put this to bed finally. Joe Douglas fired was big news. Bring back Howie's bouncer, the Jets. It must have happened a while ago. I missed that somehow. Oh, it happened yesterday. Dude, I'm confused at when it happened, but I somehow missed it. You, Big Al, you know more than anybody. I'm on Twitter nonstop. My Twitter game is excessive to an extent. I'm a little too frequent on Twitter. And I missed it. Take Embiid security pass is their option. It ain't like he shows up. Yeah, true. It should be one of those situations like you see in the movies where you got to show up on time for class, and if not, the teacher closes the door and doesn't let you in. If he's not there by 10 a.m. when he's supposed to, door's locked, he's not allowed in. Show up on time or don't show up at all. How many people in the chat right now have a job? And if you showed up late to your job all the time, would you not get fired? The Giants do stink. Did the Eagles fans ever burn AIs or Barkley's jersey, or is that in you? A lot of Philly fans do burn. They burned Ben Simmons' jersey and stuff like that. I don't understand. Jerseys are expensive as hell. I know players leave. I still got my Wentz jersey, my Jimmy Butler jersey up there. You don't burn jerseys. Like, if you don't want the jersey anymore, donate it to somebody. So you better star my comments. I star every comment. I don't know if starring comments matter for the algorithm or the program, or if I star them or not. I star them because it tells me where the last comment I read was. Why would you burn a perfectly good jersey that you spent your... Yeah, exactly. It's something that just drives me nuts when fans do that in all sports. New York Giants fans are morons. Barkley gave it his all. Yeah, they're just morons. I am so far behind the chat, obviously, here. I don't remember when we have burned a jersey. Ben Simmons was the most recent one. Carson Wentz, they both got burned, for sure. You grump, you're not put out presents anymore. Wrap pizza box. That's what I do, and they rip them open. They'll burn Saquon's jersey, but Tiki Barber, nah. Yeah. Joel has his team. Yeah. Puka no catcha. I like that. Puka no catcha. Sign off for today, Rick. Yeah, I'm signing off pretty soon. Today's an early day. Today's a quick day. That's just the way it's got to be. Joe Douglas is what the Eagles think they have in Big Dom. It happened really late yesterday, like 5 p.m. Yeah, I was cooking dinner. I was doing different things, whatnot. Worried about CJ, GJ, Dean, and Bond getting stuck in coverage this game. McVay makes it work with Higbee, Kupp, Puka, and Connor. I agree. I think the Rams are playing good football. I'm just not worried about our secondary. I'm worried maybe about some of the other players on the team, but I'm not worried about it. I think the Eagles win on Sunday night, no doubt. Flumexed Phil is best Phil, is it? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what's best Phil. Remember the same Sixers told AI he wasn't allowed in the practice facility anymore? Yeah. A la Des Bryant, we need a handler for Embiid. Ben Simmons Friday night against the Sixers. He'll probably have to sit that one out. Do we at least get the T-shirt ad read? Nah, maybe. You can't ask for ad reads, remember? Quinyamano Bay has to be the name for Q. I don't know. I still like the Quinion Mitchell or the Quinion Penitentiary because he's putting everybody in solitary confinement. That's what I like, but I know Quinyamano Bay is a very popular one amongst Eagles fans with Quinion Mitchell and how elite he has been. Wow, I'm caught up on comments. I fired through all that really fast. I'm all for Simmons dunking on Joel. Who will sit out on Friday? Joel or Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons says he's playing. Joel might sit. Because neither of them want to play each other at this point. I'm just curious. Like, this whole situation has got me at the very least curious on tonight's Sixers game. Curious on how Joel comes back. Curious how Joel comes out. Curious how Joel and Tyrese Maxey respond to each other. Yeah. Wouldn't that be the story right there? Ben Simmons finally has a light switch. Ben Simmons sees that Joel Embiid's struggling or his rep is struggling, and Ben Simmons is like, all right, it's time. And all of a sudden, Ben Simmons on Friday night comes out, drops 7 3-pointers, puts up like a 30, 10, and 10, and then leads the Nets to this magical charge to the playoffs. And Joel Embiid, it would be something. It would be like theoretically in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, just thinking about this right now. Just thinking about it. It's something. Q Mitch is an alpha dog. He is. I could see this game being Simmons get right with the world game. It would be something, wouldn't it? Paul George has a lot of content for his podcast. That's all he cares about is that damn podcast. Really makes you wonder how Brett Brown made Simmons and Embiid work. Is there a new level? That is a fantastic thought process. I mean, our best chances, our best opportunities were when Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Brett Brown were together. They sucked. They failed. They came up short. But realistically, our best chances were in 18 and 19 when all those guys were together. Interesting thought right there. That is an interesting one. Really, I thought I just took that off. Ben Simmons locking up PG. Yeah. Paul George is going to shoot another 1 for 7 against Ben Simmons. I never disliked Brett. I didn't dislike him. I disliked the fact that he wouldn't. He actually, my biggest beef with Brett Brown might have set the stage for why Joel Embiid is so lazy. I used to always say Brett Brown didn't hold Ben Simmons accountable. Maybe he wasn't holding Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid accountable, and that's why Joel Embiid is who he is today. Brett Brown was the first coach of these young guys when they came in the league and enabled them to be lazy. So while I respect Brett Brown making it work, my one beef I always had with Brett Brown, accountability, maybe is why those two players are who they are right now. I went to a Sixers game. Ben Simmons had a triple-double for the Sixers. Believe it or not, it happened. Oh, he always was putting up triple-doubles. K1, I was indifferent with Brett. He was frustrating in big moments, but I only really hated him when he traded Mikal. Yeah, that was dumb. Who would have thought aging superstars wouldn't work? I don't know. Daryl Morey? I kept waiting for us to become the next San Antonio. Yeah. Guys, real quick, do me a favor. check out LilliansCreations.com. Fantastic shirt site, fantastic merch site. All you got to do is go to LilliansCreations.com, check the contact link, send them an email, and you get yourself some trending in the AM and STT Sports Network gear. They have my logos there. They're fantastic, high quality, great prices, and it supports two local businesses, the STT Sports Network and Lillian's Creation, who's based out of Kennett Square area. So, guys, check them out, LilliansCreations.com. Check out their contact information to email them to get a Trading the AM t-shirt, hoodie, jacket, whatever you want, guys. Please do that for me. I greatly appreciate it. Even Ice Cube messed around and got a triple-double. Oh, man, guys. This has been... Yesterday was fire content, arguing and bitching and moaning about the Sixers. Today has been more of a depressing situation. Like, yesterday was anger over the Sixers. Today is depression. I promise no more Sixers talk, but they forced my hand. What are they going to do tonight? Like, I will pre-set up tomorrow's stream before the Sixers game even goes off, so it's going to be set up as an Eagles stream for tomorrow. But will the Sixers do something tonight that will just force me to go back to the Sixers again tomorrow? I got to stop making promises when it comes to the Sixers because every day they're like, hold my beer. Let me one up yesterday. If the Sixers were the Sopranos, Maxey would be Tony, Embiid would be Christopher, George would be Paulie, and Simmons, that snitch pussy. Yeah, I guess. Embiid Christopher? Yeah, maybe. George Paulie? I don't know about George being Paulie. Simmons, yeah, would definitely be Big Puss, Pumpancero, the Rat. I promised. I can't make promises anymore, obviously. Phil Doctor be like, yeah, well, look, I got to go to the doctor. And the public plays right into it. Yep, absolutely. Today will be a changing day in your life, Dr. Phil. Maybe the doctor will change my life today. Maybe he'll make things better for me. So we'll see. Anyway, with that being said, we are calling it short today. A 1-hour show today instead of 90 minutes, unfortunately. Back to the roots of 1-hour shows. Actually, originally when we started this thing, 3+ years ago, they were like 50-minute shows. But yeah, Phil blood work. My blood work was fine. I got to go see a lung and a lung doctor, breathing issues. Joel Embiid will always be Fredo, soft and complete. Yeah, just waited for Mama to pass before they get rid of him. What are they waiting for to get rid of him? You know, like they had to wait for Fredo to die, or the mom to die before they whacked Fredo. So what are they waiting for before they cut ties with Joel? That's something for you to think about for tomorrow. But yeah, we got to wrap this up. I got to get moving, guys. Everybody have a great day. Beautiful day out. Go Birds. Bubbles up to y'all.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.